The next money mistake I made was flying business and first class. Now this is a big money mistake because, as I mentioned, I got to a certain level of income pretty much in 2018 where I was like, it's dumb that I'm not flying business or first. Like, someone who's making the sort of money that I'm making should be flying only business and first class. Now there are certain habits that you form or certain things that you do that are very hard to come back from. And flying business / first class is one of those things. You know, because once you fly business and you're used to having the flat bed and you're used to, you know, having the lounge, and by the way, you can get the lounge entirely for free, or maybe not the lounge with the airline that you're flying with, but a whole host of really good lounges with the gold and the platinum card with Amex. They have different tiers of which lounges are available to you, but just a little side note. But yeah, you know, as I said, you get used to the lounge and the flatbeds and, you know, kind of ordering whatever you want and not having to pay for it. And then things get even better once you go into first class. I mean, depending on what airline you're flying with, you literally have like your own little like room, your own little suite. And the amenity bags you get are these plush, luxurious things, and you can literally order whatever you want anytime, no limit, and you can have a shower, and you know, it's just it's pure luxury. And maybe while you're in the airport, or you're chilling on your flatbed, like you're like, oh, this is money well spent. But at least for me personally, I would always look back and I'm like, was that really worth the extra, you know, from economy to flying business or first class? And I'm speaking more in terms of long haul, you know, the extra 1,500, the extra 2,500, sometimes even the extra 5K, as I said, depends on what airline you're flying, whether you're flying business or first, whatever it may be. You know, I know for some people, they have vowed that they will never fly economy again. Just personally, it's something that I don't value too much, because at the end of the day, whenever I'm flying, first of all, I usually manage to read an entire book on my Kindle, or I just catch up on some documentaries I've been meaning to watch on Netflix on my iPad. You know, so for me, it doesn't really make a difference. And what I found, because recently I've transitioned and I only fly economy now, the main priority I think for everyone, if they're flying economy, is try to find day flights. Because for me personally, I can't sleep in economy. Like, unless I have a bed, I cannot fall asleep. So night flights when you're flying economy are a little more rough. But as I said, if you're flying in the day, like, look, I get it. It's a 6 hour, it's an 8 hour, it's a 12 hour, maybe even a 15-hour flight. But at the end of the day, flying economy, you save yourself thousands and thousands. And the other thing that I realized is, like, you could just spend, like, whatever your destination you're going to, whether it be for business or holiday, like, just spend that money there. Or the other thing that I realized is, like, okay, for literally like let's say I'm flying Emirates, from economy to business, 1,500, 2,000 pounds, you can buy a new iPad, you can buy a new Kindle, and like a new pair of headphones for that. So for me, it really is a no-brainer to just spend that money elsewhere. And rather than that, you know, one fleeting experience, you got this like actual tangible thing that you can learn, you can make money, blah, blah. Now, the other thing that I will say is, if you've taken my advice on money mistake number 1 about getting credit cards, that also does help you in terms of free travel, or another really good way to spend your points is on upgrades. The only thing that I would say is never ever just buy a business or first class flight outright. So I already just mentioned it briefly. I only fly economy from 2020. I've decided I'm only flying economy from now on. Whether it's for personal use, whether it's for business, whether it's for personal reasons I'm going on holiday, or business reasons, and I'd say 90% of my flights are for business purposes. So yeah, that's why in my head I was like, oh, 3,000-4,000 pounds for this flight. Like, oh, no biggie, it's for business. But as I said, I am not flying business or first class again, unless I can use my points and get a really sweet upgrade deal with points. Because, as many of you guys know, I donate a large portion of my own personal profits from my company Grow Your Agency. And as many of you guys know, I built a few schools in Nepal, and now at this point there's over 1,000 kids who get to wake up and get a proper education because of the work that we're doing out there. So in 2019, I think I spent 25,000-30,000 pounds on flights. And as I said, you get to a certain level of income where, like, it's obviously you would be spending that amount of money because it's just like what you do. And as I said, I've always lived well below my means in terms of my income bracket. But I look at 20-30 grand and I'm like, I could install solar panels at 3 of my schools for that price. And once again, give back to the community. So that's just a personal, I guess, moral / ethical decision I've made. But for you, I think logically, I don't know, as I said, I spend a lot of money in a lot of different ways and in different things to improve your quality of life. Business and first class flights for me, I guess, has just been something where I'm like, to be honest, I can live without it.